to the Req Lab. We're super excited to have Alexander Lorenzo on the show with us today. And like many of you guys are probably familiar with this guy. He's, in our opinion, he's putting out the truth to the internet, and that's something that we're big fans of. And we've been longtime supporters of Alex, and we're super excited to have him on the show today with us. And we just got some questions we want to dive into, get to know you a little better. Some of our viewers, it's going to be a, kind of an introduction, and should be a good time. So
yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no problem whatsoever.
Anytime.
Thanks for taking the time. Absolutely. So Ray, I think you got the first. I think you're up first.
Real quick, before I do that, let me also say welcome to the Req Lab. Besides Brian there, you're like my other mentor for crypto. Brian got me in through like Coinbase, whatever. First buy was Aave, probably a year and a half ago. And then on down the line, ADA, other things. So he's an ETH guy, and I'm sort of still trying to decide what's my favorite. But he's an ETH Nazi, whatever you call it.
I have a hard time holding on to my ETH. I end up spending it on NFTs. I know you're not a big fan yet, and we've got some questions for you with regards to that. But, sure.
Just real quick, how did you get into crypto? I've seen your videos, I know, but just for our viewers, just a short summary of how you got in, real quick.
Yeah, the short summary is, I started off mining Ethereum. So when I was in high school, I went to a technical school for half of my high school. And then, they taught me, programming, a lot of programming and a lot of how to build computers and stuff. So I was always interested in building my own computers. And, I came across Ethereum as an investment vehicle. So it was I didn't know anything about investing at the time. I didn't know anything about finance at all. But I did know how to build computers. So I found out that you can make money mining Ethereum with the GPU miners. So, it was really just interesting for me to kind of build the whole schematics, and build this thing. And I put up the last $3,000 to my name. And then I got $2,000 from my parents, and I got $2,000 from my brother. And I had these 3 maxed out GPU mining rigs. And, when I first started, I was getting about 1 ETH a day, which at the time ETH was worth $3-4 bucks. Right. So I kind of let that ride. And then, when ETH got to 30-40, I was freaking out. And then I, at the job that I was at the time, I actually had maximized income because I started a sales job, right when retail, in December, when you have everyone buying cell phones for the holiday season. So I made a lot of commission, and I dumped my whole entire bank account to Ethereum at $30. And then, it made me a millionaire really quick. And then I quit all my jobs and tried to do this full time. And that's kind of how everything got really started.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of how I got started in it too. I mean, I had more of a financial background. And when I met Ray, I was actually, my story is that I was early on, I had gotten involved in stocks back in high school, and I had actually made quite a bit of money in the stock market. And when COVID hit, I was like, I need to learn how to do what I did in the stock market, but faster. So that kind of transitioned into day trading stocks. And then Bitcoin at that time was going crazy. And I was like, let me find out about this cryptocurrency, and literally watch their little learn and earn videos. And my $40, the next day it was worth $80. And I was like, oh man, I need to take all of my stuff out and put it in crypto. Right. And then I started mining and telling Ray about what I was doing. He's like, this is crazy. We were both getting super excited. And now here we are. We got a business that we've launched, a publishing brand, a YouTube brand. We've got a merch store that just came online. It's absolutely insane.
Nice.
So the thing I wanted to talk to you about is, let me see if I can share my screen here. I wanted to talk to you, and this was a little more relevant a few weeks ago, but it's still interesting to me because a couple of weeks ago, you were the only one that I heard talking about, your video where you were talking about how like there's so much more downside coming, like you guys aren't even ready. And like what I was hearing, my background in technical analysis, like the 200, this is the Bitcoin chart on the monthly candles, and it had historically never broken below the 200-day moving average. And back when we were looking at this, I'm like, everybody was putting out there, we're going to bounce at the 200-day and it's going back up. And like your videos were like completely different, right? And I'm how is like, so like, first of all, how did you know that? Because I bought into what you were saying, right? About like you got to look at the macro picture. Like we're going into a recession. Like we're about to see stuff we haven't seen before. But everybody else that I listen to and watch was saying, no, 200-day, like it's never failed in the history of Bitcoin. It's going to hold and we're going to take off from there. So I just want to kind of get some of your thoughts on that, right?
Yeah. So, all right. So I don't know, how's your audience? Are they like really like expert type of people, or they're kind of beginners? I just want to explain this in a way that can resonate with everybody.
Yeah, we've got a good mix of people.
Mix? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the gist, okay? And it's going to be a little freaky here, but like this is the truth. And you guys know that's kind of what I do for a living. I just I never made a crypto channel. I made a Alexander Lorenzo channel, documented my journey channel. It turned into cryptocurrency because that's the biggest foundational shift in mankind. But this is like my growth and what I've learned through the financial markets, being in it for 6 years, not just being in it, but aggressively 24/7 and teaching people for 6 years, right? So this is basically the gist. We have all of these mechanisms to try to gauge where price is going to go and predict price. There's all different types. You have technical analysis, fundamental analysis, you have on-chain metrics, you have data science models, right? All of these things try to predict where prices go, and they're great. And to a certain extent, they give us a nice structure of where they're going to go. But if you haven't noticed it by now, pretty much all of the big ones got invalidated. Every single one. Yeah. 100K BTC stock to flow model. Yeah. Linear regression model. So how do I put this? There's the technical analysis, which gauges price.
Sure.
But then before technical analysis, there's what? Market makers. And then before market makers, there's what? People that control the income of market makers, right? So I guess you could say, graduated to a point of trying to understand a market. I've graduated to a point where you can't really put a number at it. It's not all quantitative. But what you could do is you can kind of gauge what the biggest players are doing and make your decisions accordingly. So everybody's saying it's bouncing at 200-day moving average, but at the same time, we have centralized exchanges going to zero, and people getting bailed out. We have hawkish Fed policy. Everything in the entire world's pivoting to the downside, but we have this one, technical, quantitative thing saying we're going to bounce off the 200-day moving average. Not only that, but from my experience, I can't say all of them. I'm not going to say out any names, but once you get to a high level, it's almost like a hinder to follow people with more followers, because the more followers they have, the more of a puppet they can be. Sure. The more power they have, the more incentive they have to disincentivize people. Sure. And this is a hard concept to understand. So literally, once I start seeing crypto, I literally open up the 10 biggest YouTubers, 10 biggest Twitter accounts, whatever they're saying, I typically try to do the exact opposite. Gotcha. And it doesn't always work, but it works more than it doesn't work. So if there's 10 shots, and it's like follow the biggest YouTubers and the biggest people, sure, I would say 7 of them would go the opposite way of the biggest people. And then they'll use the 2 or 3 that go the right way to build credibility to do the exact thing. Essentially, once you start getting deep into this game, you'll start to realize that, remember, yes, there's technical analysis, but there's also people behind the technical analysis. And the people, if you could predict their movement, which is much more predictable than numbers, because we are people ourselves. Sure. Then you can make these longer. I'm a position trader. So on the short term, like that's a completely different discussion. But on a long-term 2-3 year time horizon, you could predict human behavior, and you could predict the behavior of like these big whale market maker type people.
Sure. Yeah, no, there's a lot of research going into like understanding like crowd science and stuff like that in the markets, and I'm sure you're aware. So my next question is, like, I drew a couple of lines here for support and resistance, not to take it back to the technical side of things, but I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts? Do we drop all the way down to 14K? There's some pretty strong resistance there, support there. We're at 19 right now. We've got a few months of that. Like, what are your thoughts? Where are we going?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's like price is like hard. It's kind of irrelevant. It's relevant, of course, but they could take it as far low as they want at this point, because, we had the big, it's not going to break 200-day moving average. And then we had the big, it's not going to drop below 20K BTC, because that was the last all-time high. Both of those invalidated. So at this point, like, the sky's the limit to the downside, or the dirt's the limit, however you want to say. So if you zoom back a little bit, so you can see a bigger picture of the BTC chart. If you're talking in terms of liquidity, then yes, the next level would be 14K BTC. There's other charts. It's called the BLX. It gives you a longer historical price chart. You don't have to do it though. But yeah, so 14K, 11K are like the next 2 points. Sure. But really, in my head, once we get to those price levels, I'm not going to buy until a couple of things change. I want to see more confidence in the whole markets of the world, like in general. Sure. Yeah. Like, I don't think any risk on assets is going to flourish until gas prices start come normal again, and people can go and not have to destroy their paycheck on buying groceries, like things like this. Once that kind of becomes normal, then I could see confidence restored in risk on assets in general. I've made a couple predictions. I'm thinking, towards the end of the year, we get the best prices we've ever seen in our life. And then actually I have a new video coming out where it's going to dive a little bit deeper. I'm getting definitely deeper. I'm thinking Bitcoin halving date is the greatest time to kind of predict these things. Like, if we could just wait towards the Bitcoin halving date, we'll get a better answer of what price level it's going to go down to. Okay, that's good information. I'm excited to see the video you put out. Yeah, this is going to be a game changer. I'm getting real deep. I like it. It's a little scary, but it's what people need to hear. Right. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Technical analysis. The technical analysis works. So yeah, I'm thinking 14K, 11K. I'll probably start DCAing in at around 14. Yeah, that was kind of my plan too, but I was, interested. I've been salivating this whole time. We've been out ourselves since near the top. We were following you, you know what I mean? And the business, it just made sense to kind of liquidate and pour some money into our business that we're starting. So we got out a long time ago, and like, I got a bunch of friends, they're hurting. I talked to a guy the other day. He's like, I'm down $10,000 on Bitcoin. I'm like, man, you should have been out a long time ago, brother. Like, I'm excited. Like, let it rain, because I haven't seen these prices in a while, and I'm salivating to get back in. So yeah, you guys know we've been out of the market for a while. So like, yeah, at this point we're just like, all right, where are we getting our cheap discounts? Because we're going to get a nice, if you play it stupid, you're getting a 10x in crypto. Like, if you just don't even try. Don't even try. Yeah. You're getting a 5-10x minimum, right? So that's phenomenal, especially in a 3-year time horizon. That's like amazing. Yeah. That's like out competing every traditional hedge fund in the world, right? So to me, this is a great opportunity, although it is negative that Bitcoin's coming down in price or whatever the case is, and people are going to freak out. For people that understand and invest in their education, that have really put in the hard work, it's simple, man. This game is too easy. That's why I love crypto. It's so easy. Why I do too. Yeah, it is so easy. Like, compared to the traditional stock market, like, it's like dumbed down investing. Like, it is super simple, and everybody's like, oh, it's so risky, like, it's so volatile. I'm like, man, it is, like, but it's so easy. Like, all you have to do is really pay attention, know what's going on with Bitcoin. You jump into the stock market, man, you can have stocks that are up, huge percentage points, and then another one that's down huge percentage points. Typically, Bitcoin's down, everything else is down. You do have some outliers in the market, but it is really easy to understand. So we're excited about it. We're excited about the technology, and we're pouring our hearts and souls into it. So yeah, you guys are doing the right thing, man. If you're watching this video and you're dabbling in crypto, build, man. You don't have to like day trade. You could just take a step back and build something, build a brand, build an NFT project if you want, build whatever you want. This is the time to do that. It sounds corny, but like no one does it. Like everybody says it and they're kind of listening to me say it on the internet, but then no one does it. And it's just like, all right, well, you just missed a 1 in 4 year opportunity. Like, great. Like, it pisses me off, but that's basically in the business I'm in, is just trying to force people to do things.
Right.
We were just talking about that earlier. We were like, everybody's always talking. Like 99.9% of people don't do anything.
Yeah, it's just talk.
Yeah, I mean that's why I started that running challenge, right? Because like,
I'm with you.
You're with it. So like,
I'm on
I can't really
day 7.
Yeah, so you get the point. Like, I can't really be like, okay, guys, this is what I did for the day. I wrote this report. I can't like show you that. Like, I can't because some of it is sensitive information. I don't want my competitors to know, right? So I can't, as a leader, I can't tell you what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. But if you know that I wake up and I'm consistent and I got a good diet and I got a good workout, well, I'm probably putting in work. Maybe not always, but you get the point. So this was my way of not talking. This was like me, everybody's screaming, all the guys, all the super duper overweight, like, let's be real here, like go to the top list, right? And then they're all like, oh yeah, man, building the bear run. And I'm like, okay, bro, you're not even building, like you're taking a vacation, right? So This is my way of like, here, this is me, and show on the internet, you can't hide a 2-mile run. You just can't.
No, you sure can't.
You can't. You can't. The timing of it, all of it, you can't hide it. So this is like my way of showing the physical part, which will relate to how I'm going to dominate the entire industry next cycle, right? Man. That's my goal here. I'm just trying to create a part of the industry. So that's what we're doing.
So along those same lines, we wanted to step into like, a lot of coins didn't survive like the last bear market. Before even Brian was even into it, like coins just disappeared off the face of the earth. So like, what are your top 5 like altcoins you think that'll survive the bear market?
Yeah, so I don't know if you consider Ethereum an altcoin, but I guess it is. So obviously ETH, ETH, ADA, Polkadot. Obviously BNB will survive. Like, there's going to be coins that survive. I don't know if you're asking me like what's going to survive or my favorite. So like, you got to look at the entities, right? So that's what there's a couple. I do still have like 150 points of like fundamental analysis, but now that I'm getting better, I can just identify the guaranteed ones, like without even thinking, right? So like, one of them for sure is what? FTX exchange.
Sure.
Yeah. They're buying everyone, right?
Yeah.
Crypto.com.
Yeah, crypto.com, maybe. I don't know. They've done some sketchy stuff in the past. But FTX, like for sure, like that coin, buy it 10x, you're good to go. Buy it at the bottom of the bear run, you're good to go. Even though I don't even believe in centralized exchanges that much, we just know, right? So BNB, we know CZ, one of the richest people on planet Earth, right? He owns Binance, one of the biggest centralized exchanges. BNB is good to go, right? Like maybe XRP if they win their case. It looks like they're winning. These coins, like we know they're going to come back. ADA, biggest cult-like community, right? Ethereum, we know this. So like, there's a couple that point out. What I'm looking for is, I'm looking for like the 50 to 100 X's though. And you won't know those until we get closer to the momentum. We need the momentum of Bitcoin, and then the liquidity will fall off Bitcoin into altcoins. That's when we're going to get our home runs. So I'm dollar cost averaging. I'm just not going super crazy. I'm keeping most of the stack towards closer to Bitcoin halving, so we can get those new coins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm glad to hear Polkadot on that list too. Something that I've been digging into. I'm pretty bullish on Polkadot. I mean, all those you listed, I believe, will be around. But I want to kind of shift gears a little bit more to the like business mind of Alexander Lorenzo, and something that that I kind of struggled with, but I think it's like, and honestly, I saw you do a video talking about this a little bit, and I want to kind of provide that information to our viewers as well. So one of the things that you hear over and over, I've read it, like you hear it, information, right, is that you need a mentor in your life, right? Somebody that's been there, kind of done that thing, is kind of treaded the waters that you're trying to tread. So I wanted to ask you, like, how did you find your mentor, and what does that relationship look like for you?
Yeah. So, man, this is a subject that like everything in life is a duality. So there's never like a perfect answer. So really, like, I came up, majority of everything I made was without a mentor. Now it depends on what you mean by mentor too. If you mean like a physical person in reality, like someone that you see on Sundays and they tell you stuff, I grew up with none. But what I did do is I bought digital courses, which is like a mentor type mentorship.
Sure.
And I listened to a lot of like genuine, I'd learned how to identify credibility, and I would find the genuine people on YouTube, the genuine people on Twitter, and then kind of like follow them and replicate it. So it's, to a certain extent, yes, I did have a mentor. If I were to do it over from scratch, from zero, and I had nothing, I would just find someone in crypto that has what I have. And then like I would make a list of 30 people that are on that boat. And then I would just simply offer every single one of them free work. And then like one or two of them would bite if I had to start from over. Because you know, the digital courses, they're amazing. And a lot of them, you get access to the top person, like kind of what I do, the coaching, right? So you get access to me once or twice a week, right? So that's kind of like a guaranteed way. You don't have to go through the whole thing. But if you want it for free, yeah, you just give your time, right? You offer somebody either money, physical cash, or your time. So actually, I even have a private mentor group of marketers that they want to learn marketing. There's like 15 of them. They're giving me their time, and in return, I'm giving them my time. So yeah, mentor figures are just another guy. And that's another thing too. People glorify some people to the highest extent, like they're the greatest thing on earth. Sure. As I started excelling, I realized that they're just humans that are a little bit further ahead than you are. Yeah. That's all it is. Like everybody bleeds. Do not be scared of nobody. I had huge interviews with some of the biggest figures in crypto. They're just normal. They're not even like, don't glorify them. Right. So like, you take the good things and you ignore the bad things. So even if they don't have like 100%, like you don't believe in what they talk about, just take the good things and leave the bad things. You should honestly just listen to everyone, but know how to filter the BS. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. 100%. We're all human. Like I've heard it said time and time again that the most successful people in life are not any better than you. They just had more tenacity and stick with itness, you know, than I mean, most people, let's face it, when things get hard, they use that F word that we don't like to use called failure instead of turning it into something, a positive word called growth or, you know, a chance to pivot, right? Like you learned another way that it didn't work. So that's stuff that me and Ramon talk about all the time. I just had heard you, I think you were driving in the video and you were talking about how you had just spoke with your mentor and like, I know that anybody that's been successful in life, like that's like the gist of it, right? Finding somebody or someone or some program, like you said, and learning and growing and evolving, right, as human beings.
Yeah, I recently, she's not a mentor in crypto. She's a mentor because she has a big business.
Sure.
So yeah, you want to have all different types. You want to have people that are in different industries as well as someone that's directly in your industry. And believe it or not, guys, the best way to get a mentor is to not be a bum. So once you get like a certain level, right, that's when you go reach out. Like when you're first starting, no one's going to want, like if you're watching this video and you never ran a business in your life and you're reaching out to these 20 people for them to, like, you have nothing to offer them. They're going to spend more time trying to develop you than the free time you're giving them. So it's almost like you got to start like and just execute for at least like a year to 2 years and fall flat on your face and then try to figure out which mentor you're going to go with to take you to that next level. I think it's probably the best answer is you have to start by just wanting it so bad that you just keep like I'm an idiot. Like I'm pretty sure I have a low IQ. Like I'm pretty sure. But the thing is that I told myself that I would never quit. And I really meant it. I meant it to like the highest degree. Right. And like I would go to sleep and I would tell myself I'm never going to quit. And I even would visualize myself living on the street because I never quit. I would even visualize my wife at right now, she was my girlfriend at the time, leaving me because I was too broke. I would visualize having to move back in with my parents. My parents think I'm a bum, like I'm a bum because I don't have a job on purpose, just to brace myself for the fact that I'm never going to quit. And then what happened is that, those visualizations put a fire under me. And basically I got it by any means necessary. There was nothing off limits. If you guys look at my old videos, I used to do the prank videos just to get views, just so I can ethically bribe them into learning investing. Like go look at my old videos. It's not what you see today.
We looked at some of your old stuff. There was one I sent it to Ray. I was like, have you seen this? It was like you were doing something on salt or something, like totally non-crypto related. I can't remember what it's called. Ray went out and bought it. He's like, yeah, I saw that video.
Mineral supplement. I used to,
Yeah.
man, I used to walk into grocery stores and sell a mineral supplement. Like just walk in. Like I would usually wake up on a random day, no B2B experience, just walk to the back and be like, hey, buy my stuff. And I got thrown out of a couple of them. But like, that's what you need.
We got 10 minutes left. So.
Okay. Yeah, we got some more questions for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
About your podcast, like, are you still actively like recording it, and like, what's the end game with the podcast for you?
We're not going crazy on it, but I am planning on. I just lost my podcast manager, but yeah, my goal is to just find big credibility and ask them hard questions. And yeah, we plan on doing it. We're probably going to do like one a month moving forward, because we used to do it like every week. But
and it's not just crypto. You're going to go into all industries or
everything. Yeah, crypto is everything. Like once you know enough about crypto, you realize that it's just everything. It's like so. Yeah, I'm going to be in every industry for sure.
Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, so we already answered a couple of these guys. Really, the last thing I was going to ask you is, what are your thoughts on Polkadot? A lot of people don't really fully understand what they're trying to accomplish, how the parachain auctions work, and like, just wanted to get your thoughts on it. It's something that's kind of been on my mind recently with what they're doing and what that's going to look like in the future. I mean, I think it's like some next level shit. And, I'm excited about it. I'm excited that it's down so much, because we're getting it's hugely on sale right now. And it's definitely one that we're going to pack some bags on, but I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, so I do believe, all right, so you have to think about like the multi-chain world. I do believe in the multi-chain world. It's where all, different blockchains can connect liquidity wise, as well as transfer, coins back and forth. And it looks like Polkadot has the highest credibility and leading the front on that. Now, Cosmos is far further ahead, but Polkadot has more credibility, more funding, more everything. So yeah, I just don't think that, everything being subjected to Ethereum is the answer. It's not kind of like how current life works. I don't know. It depends how you look at it, because there is technically only one internet, right? So like there are other ones, but they're just not as adopted. I don't know. It just depends on how you look at it. But from what I experienced this cycle, it looks like people want multi-chain. And I think Cosmos and Polkadot are leading the front on that, being kind of the layer zero of where pretty much all the different layer ones can connect to Polkadot, and then making it obviously more secure and more liquid and transferable. Basically, it's bringing the world computer together essentially.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah. I do believe in it. I do think it's going to do well. And Gavin Wood's a beast. So
yeah, he is a beast for sure.
Real quick, so one website, best source that if you could only take one website on an island with you, what website would that be?
I love
this
good
question.
Yeah,
that's a good question. One website on an island with me. That's a really good question.
An island with Wi-Fi.
Yeah, with Wi-Fi.
I read a physical book, but if there's a website with a Bible, that's what I would take with me.
Oh, that's
okay. Awesome. Well, you could download the Bible app, and then you could still pick a website.
Okay. Oh man, I don't like. Okay, so Google would, because when you Google, you're going to different websites. That's the thing. There's like no one website that I keep going back to. I guess it's like CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko. I'm making a competitor called Honora.io. I mean, that's kind of where I get like my source of all of my information.
Yeah, the CoinPix.
Yeah, we're making CoinPix and Honora. So yeah, mine's not up to their level, so I wouldn't even pick mine, just to be honest. But, yeah, I'm not gonna be biased. Like I like, that's the truth. We'll get there eventually, though. We're building it out. But yeah, probably if this is crypto based question, it will probably CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, because that's like where you can like start your research and like everything's on there. So yeah,
for sure.
Yep.
Awesome, Alex. We really appreciate your time. I know it's valuable resource, and just super excited that we got to meet with you finally and just kind of pick your brain. You've given us a lot to think about. I'm excited for our viewers when we get this posted and out there. So thanks again from the Req Lab.
Real quick. One last thing. Just a couple one-word answers. Pulse chain.
Yes.
Richard Hart.
Oh, yes. He's done more good than bad.
More good than that. Miami Heat.
Yeah, of course.
Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, no. Down.
No. Come on, man. I'm from Jersey, bro. Oh, man. And the best place to eat in Miami.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, man. I'm not really like one of those guys, but we just went to this restaurant called Planta. It's really good. It's like it's like a vegan restaurant, but bro, like you wouldn't even know it's vegan. So I thought it was interesting. I don't know if it's the best place, but it's good. It's really good.
It's up there.
Appreciate it.
Final thoughts, NFTs.
NFTs are good. They just need to develop more. And people need to stop exit scamming everything, man. And just because they're okay, so basically the reason why there's a whole bunch of exit scams is because it's a regulation. People got to catch on. It was ICOs at first, they got regulated out. Now we got the free airdrop cryptos. That's like getting past regulation. But the airdrop when you're giving away these free things, you don't have control over it. So now they do the NFTs, which is essentially the same thing as the coins, and not all cases, but most cases. It's like the same thing, but you get to control the supply of the NFTs, right? So there's some for art, definitely, and they're great. But I'm not an artist, so I'm not going to get involved with something I don't know, right? And I would say all the other scam ones is just simply to get past regulation and take as much money from people as they possibly can, and that's scary to me. So next cycle, I'll be happier about NFTs.
Good stuff.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, we'll send you your first one for free.
I have a lot of NFTs, guys.
You do have?
I spent like 50,000 on NFTs. Trust me, I know NFTs.
He's got a few of them. Yeah. We've got a collection that we're going to be minting soon, and it's we're super excited about it. So we'll make sure we can add that to your collection as well.
I like it, man. Just make sure you build the project out. I hate those NFT projects that just make it and run. Don't do that.
No, that's what we're focusing on. The artwork and all that stuff's been done. We're just building out the project, adding some kind of unique utility to the project. We're working on the big thing that we're working on right now that I'm kind of excited about is that we're going to do, we're working on an app to where when you buy the NFT, you get an actual physical card in the mail that has an RFID scanner, and then you scan that with your phone and it gives you access to the app, and there's going to be a whole game that's built on that. So I haven't seen anything like that in the crypto space. We're pretty excited about it. And then, we've got this, our whole Discord community, what that's all about, and stuff. It's been fun, man. So we're excited. We've had these NFTs ready to go. Smart contracts written, art's done, but we're trying to build the community, make sure that, there's some value to the customers, right? Do it the right way.
Of course, man. Keep building. That's what the bear runs for.
That's right. All right, Alex. Well, thanks for your time, buddy. We appreciate you coming on the show, and keep up the good work. Yeah.
No problem, guys. Just if you guys want to follow me, Alex on Crypto on Twitter, and then Alexander Lorenzo on YouTube.
Awesome. Thanks again.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Take care. Thank you, Alex.